What's the matter?
Oh, I am so furious. I can't believe what Ian's done.
What did he do?
He told Mr. Joffrey that if he put pressure on me, I would rejoin the company.
I'm sorry you're so upset. Would you like to leave?
No, oh, I don't know. I just wanted to see Star.
The curtain. Bring down the curtain.
I'm a doctor. Please move back. Give me some room to work. Move that back, please.
Ian! Ian! Do you hear me? Ian!
It happened so suddenly.
What's wrong?
He must have had a heart attack.
So young. Thank goodness Dad was right here.
Tom, call Memorial. Tell them to send an ambulance right away and have the coronary care unit standing by when we get there.
Oh.
Pardon me. Excuse me, doctor. I'm a Dr. Henry Kennedy. Can I help you?
Yes, doctor. I'm not getting any pulse. That's fine. I'm getting a pulse.
We've got him breathing.
He's responding, and Memorial's only a few minutes away.
As the World Turns.
Everyone will have to leave the theater. I'm sorry. Please. You have to leave. Please.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm with Dr. Hughes. I have an important message for him. The ambulance is on its way.
I can't believe this is happening. I know. I just saw him a minute ago, right before he came out into the pit. How did he seem? Fine, healthy, strong. He just collapsed. Must have been his heart. That hasn't said yet. They're still trying to revive him. Are you all right? Yes. Yes.
Tom, who did you talk to at Memorial?
The resident in emergency. Do you want me to call again?
No, they'll get here. We've got to get him to emergency quickly.
Right.
We're just lucky Bob was here. I know, but it sounds as though Ian's not going to make it. I'm sure he will. Not unless the ambulance gets here. Oh, I'm so afraid for him.
He couldn't be in better hands.
I know. This is the first time I've ever seen Ian looking so helpless, so vulnerable.
Out of the way, please. Please, clear. Please. Here they are. In here, fellas. Come on. Okay, just as soon as you get him in the ambulance, start an IV. Hook him to the monitor. Take him right to the coronary care unit. He's extremely critical. Okay.
Thank you. Well, I thought dinner was just delicious, didn't you? Loved it. I especially loved the way everything was prepared and how beautifully it was served. I thought the wine was just superb. It was dry and smooth, and, well, I guess you can refer to a wine as being smooth, can't you?
I guess you can if you want to.
Well, at any rate, I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and I'm happy it put you in such a good mood.
Well, I noticed that you certainly don't seem to be in a very happy mood or anything else. In fact, you've been in a kind of a bad mood all evening. That's why I just kept on talking and everything, just because I felt like somebody had to keep things cheerful. But I'll be glad to stop talking if you have something.
You know what I think?
I haven't the slightest idea.
I think you're forcing yourself into this jovial mood in order to avoid the real topic of conversation between us.
Oh, no, that's not true.
You don't usually go on like this.
Well, you see, it's ever since you came in yesterday from the Willows, and then you stormed right out after you arrived, and then I saw you again last night. You presented me with this ultimatum of sorts. I felt like, well, we could use a good laugh.
And avoid the real issue.
I'm not sure exactly what the...
I made that perfectly clear yesterday.
Well, are we back to the ultimatum again?
If that's the way you want to think of it.
No, I prefer not to think of an ultimatum one way or the other. Because I don't like that. Not from a man who says that he loves me and he puts my feelings above everything else.
My ultimatum only proves how much I do love you.
And that you put my feelings above everything else?
Yes, in the long run.
I really don't know what you mean by in the long run. Especially at the moment, I don't. Besides, I think we're beginning to get a little grim.
I don't think there's anything grim about it. It's just a matter of you making up your mind.
We don't have to talk about that tonight, though, now, do we?
It's avoidance.
No, it isn't. And even if I did accept your ultimatum, which I am not going to do, you told me you'd give me to the end of the week.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You're right. My goodness, it is tomorrow, isn't it? Well, since it's tomorrow, we certainly don't have to talk about it tonight, do we?
Lisa, the thing I don't understand is why you have to have any time at all to make up your mind. All I'm asking you to do is come back to the inn with me so we can start our life together. I mean, you ought to know what your feelings are.
Oh, I do.
Well, then what's stopping you?
I thought you understood. There are things here that I just simply have to take care of, that's all. And you can't ignore that.
All I know is that I hate Oakdale.
Oh, Bennett.
You know, from the minute I got here yesterday, I had a feeling of suffocation.
Why?
Because I feel as though I have to watch my every move. I have to have witnesses for every second.
You know that isn't true.
If I don't, Grant will start accusing me of all sorts of wild things.
Oh, no, he certainly won't do that. Don't you remember I told you that Grant has apologized profusely because of accusing you? Oh, I can't tell you how happy that made me. He's always so sure of himself, and now to hear that he's wrong.
He did it before, didn't he? Look, I don't want to hear his name again.
Well, I can't help saying his name, Bennett. Look, he's been part of my life for a long, long time, just the same as Oakdale has been part of my life.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just not in a very good mood tonight. I apologize. I think I'd better leave now.
Whatever you say.
But I'll be back tomorrow, and I want you to give me an answer, and for both our sakes, I hope it's the right one.
Dana, dear, we're going to go.
I'm so grateful for you coming to the hospital with me.
Well, you know our prayers are with you.
So Tom will keep us posted now.
Good night.
So I'm okay with it.
This is the worst part. Waiting to find out.
Well, I feel like we've been here for days already.
Yeah, I know. But I know Dad will come out and tell us as soon as there's anything to report.
It just all seems so unreal. You think Ian is still alive?
Oh, hon, I'm sure he is.
I know, but I heard Bob say to the ambulance driver that if they didn't hurry, that any delay would be fatal.
The ambulance got here as quickly as possible.
I just feel so guilty.
Dina, don't blame yourself.
Oh, but I do. You don't know. I went to Ian's dressing room last night just minutes before he went on. Oh, why couldn't I have waited? I was just so angry. I wanted to tell him off. I was angry because he was trying to interfere in my life again. He was trying to push me back into the ballet. He told me what a terrible strain he'd been under, and I didn't listen to him. He said he was at the end of his rope, and I said that I would be glad when he was out of my life forever.
Bob's here.
How is he?
I'm not going to keep the truth from you.
Is he still alive?
Yes, but his condition is still critical.
You mean he may not...
He suffered a massive coronary. We're doing everything medically that we can possibly do for him. But at this point, we just don't know what will happen. I know. I know, it's hard to take.
It's not impossible. But Rat, I can't understand it. I have time. There's got to be time. Because I need you to really see things clearly.
Lisa, you're the one who has to start seeing things clearly.
Oh, I'm trying. I really am trying, but I need your help. It's your help. You see, Bob, you're not anything like Grant. You're not like him at all. He's always so suspicious of everybody. He tells me that I'm impetuous, and he says that everything I do is just a big mistake. Grant!
Well, who'd you think I was?
You were pretending to be Bob.
Why would I do that?
I don't know, but you were.
Lisa, you have to pull yourself together.
I'm very much pulled together.
You're as impetuous as a young girl, impetuous and irresponsible.
Oh, no, I'm not.
You need someone to look after you.
Oh, I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself.
But you haven't.
I am so sick and tired of your holier-than-thou attitudes and going around acting like you know everything about everybody. And you've been so wrong. Oh, you've proven yourself so wrong about Bennett.
A child who needs protection from herself.
Oh, that's not true. I can't stand it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lose my temper, but you made me do that. You really did.
What's the matter, Lisa? Why are you suddenly so frightened of me? Come back, Lisa, come back. Come back, please. Don't you know you can never get away from me? No matter how hard you try, you can't get away from me. Didn't I tell you you couldn't get away from me?
No, let go of me, please. Ah.
You shouldn't have.
What?
What?
Ian,
What?
don't try to talk.
What?
No, no, just be quiet. You'll need your strength. Rest is one of the most important parts of your treatment.
Where am I?
Memorial Hospital.
What happened?
You collapsed. We're doing everything we can for you. No more talking. Rest, quiet, and follow orders. If there's any change, let me know right away.
Yes, I will.
I'm glad you finally talked Tom into going home.
Yeah, he had to get ready for work. But at the rate it's going, I don't know how he's gonna make it.
Do you have anything you have to get to this morning?
Not till later in the day.
You must be exhausted.
I'm okay.
It's hard for me to think of Ian so ill. He always took such good care of himself.
He seemed to be in great shape.
He always prided himself in his appearance. He jogged every morning and he was very careful about his diet. Had to be all the pressure he was under lately.
Yeah, but in his work, wasn't he always under pressure?
No. Or at least he was used to the kind of pressure his work brought. No, he was miserable these last few months. Forced to stay in Oakdale. And I know he was having trouble composing.
Dana, no one forced him to come to Oakdale.
No, but I was responsible.
You didn't make him follow you here.
That's true. All the same.
Dana, you shouldn't be thinking this way.
Dana?
Bob, has there been any change?
Not since I last talked to you.
What do you think?
He's holding on.
Well, has he come to yet?
For a moment. And he realizes where he is.
Well, I'd like to see him.
No, Dana. He's in no condition to have visitors just yet.
Oh, well, Thomas Christopher Hughes, did I hear you come in about a half an hour ago?
Yes, you did, Mom. Ian McFarland had a heart attack last night while he was conducting.
My goodness, that's terrible. I hope he's going to be all right.
Well, nobody knows. Fortunately, Dad was right there. He's in memorial now.
Poor Dana, she must really be so upset.
Yeah, Barbara and I were with her all night in the emergency room. Barbara's still there. She made me leave.
Well, honey, you don't have to go to work today, not after having a whole night up without any sleep.
Yeah, I've got a lot of work to take care of today.
Can't you take the morning off?
No way.
Let me fix your breakfast, then. You need a good breakfast.
No, thanks. I've already had some coffee and juice. That's all I want. I made enough coffee for two. You look pretty tired yourself.
Oh, well, I'm not surprised about that.
What's the matter?
It's one of those nights. Couldn't sleep, turned and tossed. Just a sleepless night, completely.
What? Is something bothering you?
Well, I guess. Bennett just hasn't been... He's been in a terrible mood ever since he came to Oakdale, and it's just... There doesn't seem to be anything I can do to cheer him up.
Well, has he told you why?
Yes. Actually, he came here with one plan in mind. He handed me an ultimatum and said that he wanted me to come back to the Willows with him on a permanent basis, and I had to give him my answer by the end of the week.
So soon?
Yeah. He's not giving me a minute longer, so I have to give him my answer by today, so there it is, today.
Well, if you can't make a decision, that's all there's to it.
Well, I know that, but Bennett doesn't seem to understand that.
He can't force you into a decision you're not prepared to make.
You make it sound so simple. I wish it were. It's just I don't want to lose Bennett, but I've just got to have more time.
Well, you do have a bit of time since Grant won't give you a divorce right away. And no matter how hard Bennett pushes you into marrying him, he has to face the fact that you have to be divorced first.
Yeah, that's true. True enough.
Maybe you should be grateful to Grant after all for not giving the quick divorce you wanted. Bye, Mom.
Yeah.
You sure we have enough time to come here?
Yeah, I think it's silly to get to Grant's office 15 minutes before he wants to see us. Besides, I'd really like to have a cup of coffee.
What do you think he wants to see us about?
All I know is that his secretary told me on the phone it's about the adoption.
Hope nothing's gone wrong.
Now, Kate, remember, no more negative thinking. We stopped that a long time ago, right?
Yes.
Okay, then.
Oh, can I take your order?
Hello.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Keith. Hi, Kate.
Sheila, are you all right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's just I saw you in the hospital only a few days ago and you were just being released.
I know.
Well, I'm so glad you're able to work so soon.
Oh, so am I. I read about this ad, in the coffee shop for a waitress, and I came right down and applied, and the manager was really a nice guy, and he let me start right away.
Good. I'm glad it worked out right away for you.
Oh, I am, too. I was really getting a little worried, really about finding any kind of a job at all, because, my only reference is the catering place, and we know what kind of a mess that turned out to be.
Sheila, I meant to tell you the other day at the hospital how sorry I am if I got you into any trouble because I told the police that the stick pin belonged to Valerie.
Oh, no. Look, they asked you to identify it, and you told the truth. You didn't do anything wrong.
I hope not.
No, in fact, you did something very, very nice. Something that really cheered me up.
I did?
Yeah.
What's that?
Do you remember the mum plant that you brought me in the hospital?
Do you still have it?
Of course I do. It's right in my room now, growing. In fact, there's some new buds on it.
Oh, I'm glad.
I think we better order. We're going to be late for our appointment.
Okay, what do you have?
I'd just like some coffee, please.
Okay. Kate, how about you?
Sorry I took so long.
That's all right. I thought maybe you had problems finding your purse.
No. It was right where I left it last night. Oh, that seems like centuries ago.
It's been a long night.
Yes.
Are you all right?
Yes.
Why didn't you come back to the car when you found your purse?
Well, I started to, but the stage door was open. I looked in. The stage seemed so quiet and empty. I was drawn to it.
All seems so lonely now. Kind of dismal.
Oh, no, not to me.
Then I suppose an operating room that was empty would seem lonely and foreign to you.
Maybe. I just can't help thinking about Ian.
Of course you can't.
This was his whole life. And now, Bob, I have to ask you a question.
All right.
Remember I told you about the awful argument that I had with Ian right before they called places, before he came out to the pit?
Yes, I remember.
Is that what caused his heart attack?
That's been bothering you all morning, hasn't it?
And all night long, too.
That's a question that I can't answer.
Oh, you're just trying to spare me.
No.
Well, you must have some idea what caused it.
I have some idea, but I don't know for sure. It can be any combination of circumstances. The pressures of his profession. He lived every moment of his life with great intensity. The tensions that he created within himself. But there's no way to put the blame on any one thing. And that's the truth. And you've got to believe me.
I wonder if he'll ever come back here again. Or to any theater. To the work he loves. That he does so brilliantly. Will he, Bob?
I can't answer that either.
Well, he's a young man.
Yes.
Well, that will help him, won't it?
In this case, Dana, that's not in his favor.
It isn't?
Often a coronary at his age is much more serious.
But he can get well, can he?
Yes. But only time will tell.
Oh, Bob, please take care of him. You've got to make him well.
Dana, I don't know.
Oh, please, Bob.
If it's what you want.
How soon will you know something?
We'll know a lot more in the next couple of days. The first 48 hours are the most crucial.
Have you, talked to Lisa this morning? How is she?
She's not too well.
Well, what's wrong?
Bennett's back in town, did you know?
Yes, but I thought that would make her happy.
Well, he seems to be pressuring her to get her to go back with him and make a commitment.
Isn't she ready to?
I think she's torn.
Well, I'm sorry. I've caused a great deal of Lisa's pressure, you know. I called her a little while ago, asked her to come in and see me today.
Oh, what for?
Well, I thought we might be able to talk for a bit, and then maybe possibly... Yeah.
Hi there. I'm so sorry. Mary told us to walk right in.
Yeah, well, I'm just through. I'm just leaving.
Hi, Mr. Coleman. Guess who we saw downstairs?
Let me see.
Sheila Winston.
Sheila?
In the coffee shop.
She just started working there this morning.
Well, I thought she... Well, thanks for telling me. Excuse me.
Sit down.
Thank you.
I'm dying to know what this is about. I hope it's good news. I kept my fingers crossed.
That's good news.
See, I told you.
What is it?
Well, Judge Hollis called me the first thing this morning. The papers are all processed. We're going to have a brief meeting with him, and then the adoption will be final.
Oh.
When will that be?
Today.
Today?
Today? Today? Oh, baby. Oh.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Well, look, it's a few hours before we have to meet with him. You might be able to shop and have some lunch, and then we can all meet outside the chambers about 2 o'clock, all right?
We'll be there, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Okay.
Kate just told me. You on a break?
Yeah, a permanent break.
Meaning?
What do you think? I just got fired.
What?
You heard me.
But Kate said you just got hired this morning.
Yeah, well, easy come, easy go, you know?
But what for?
Guess.
Hey, why are you mad at me?
I'm not. I'm mad at the world, okay?
Well, I'm not the world. So why don't you just tell me what happened?
The manager hired me without checking my references, and once he did, he found out why the catering service let me go, and he just said it was over. I'm through.
Oh, that's unfair. Now, you got to explain to them that you were completely cleared, that somebody else confessed.
Look, you might as well just save your breath, because I already did. I explained everything.
And it didn't do any good?
None.
I want to help you. Now, where's the manager?
Look, you know, maybe I don't want your help. You have nothing to do with this. I got this job. I lost it. I don't need a lawyer, so why don't you just stay out?
You okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
Uh-huh. I'm just, you know, I'm just sorry I let that dumb manager get me so upset that I cried, you know?
What's wrong with crying?
Well, it's not something I usually do, and when I do, I don't like people to see me.
I think it's attractive.
Crying?
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Besides, it gives you a red nose.
Only momentarily.
I'll wash this before I give it back to you.
I think you better keep that.
Why?
The next time you give in to your feelings like a natural human being instead of pretending to be so on top of everything.
I am on top of everything, and I happen to be a normal human being besides.
All right, okay, all right. I don't want to get into another argument.
Yeah,
Sorry it took me so long.
it's okay.
Is there going to be anything else?
Sheila?
No, thanks.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing you lost that job after all.
Why?
You're not strong enough to go back to work yet.
I was fine then. I am fine now.
Well, I'll have to check with my father about that.
You don't have to. Strong enough or not, I need the money. I mean, where am I going to get a job? I mean, all jobs want to check references, and then they're going to find out about how I left the catering service, and it's the only job I've had in this town. With this whole mess hanging over my head, I'm never going to work here.
Oh, you will.
How?
I'm going to call the owner of the catering service.
I don't think that's going to do any good.
No, I'm going to explain to him what he's doing to you. I mean, you've been cleared of all guilt.
Look, I just don't think that's going to do the trick.
Well, give it a chance. And I know that your financial situation is poor.
Yeah, sure is.
I'd like to loan you some money just to tide you over.
Why?
Because I want to.
Well, I don't want you to.
Is it pride or just stubbornness? Whichever it is certainly getting in your way.
I don't care. I want to take care of myself like I always have. Don't tell me that I haven't done a very good job of managing my life. I know that. But just the same, I'm going to take care of myself.
Why don't you stop? I mean, what's so wrong with my helping you?
Because you really don't want to help me. You feel guilty about thinking that I stole the jewelry.
Well, look, all right, I did feel guilty, but I've gotten over it now.
Good. Then you can leave me alone. Do you remember what you told me one time? You said a lawyer doesn't have to pretend to like his client to defend them. Well, why don't you just stop pretending? And this ought to pay for my coffee.
Check, please.
Hey, Bob.
Hello, John.
I heard about that McFarland thing. That's a shock, guy that young.
Yeah, it is.
You handling it?
Yes.
I suppose his wife asked you to do it.
Well, we never really discussed it. I was there when he collapsed.
Ah, so you just took over.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, don't misunderstand what I'm going to say, but it might be just a little bit tricky, you handling his case while you're involved with his wife. I'm not trying to meddle, but perhaps it would be easier for you if you were to turn the case over to me.
Thanks, but that's not necessary.
Well, I know it's not necessary. But if anything happens to this guy McFarland and he doesn't pull through, I think that could be very complicated for you.
The only thing complicated about it is in your mind.
Lisa, I'm glad you could come by this morning because I'll be in court all afternoon.
Well, I really did want to kind of see what this was all about. You know that I'm a fairly curious person, and your phone call, you made it sound very deliberately mysterious, so what do you want to see me about?
Well, I didn't mean to make it sound mysterious. It's just that what I had to say I thought should be said face to face, not over the telephone.
Good, we're face to face.
Yeah. It's about Bennett.
Oh, please. You didn't bring me down here, I hope, to give me another long-winded apology for all those suspicions you had against him.
Well, I believe I've already apologized.
Oh. Oh, well, then, on second thought, I hope you didn't bring me down here just to come up with some more accusations. Is that it?
Well, Lisa, listen, if you just stop talking for 30 seconds, I'll tell you straight out.
Okay, all right.
Now, I've been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of soul searching. And I've come to the conclusion that it was wrong for me to stand in your way.
What exactly do you mean by that?
I mean that I'm now prepared to give you the quick divorce you've been asking for. I mean, you can marry Bennett as soon as you want to. Well, what's wrong?
Nothing.
I thought you'd be happy when you realized that I finally changed my mind.
I am. I'm thrilled.
Well, you don't look thrilled.
It's just that I don't understand your sudden change in attitude. Grant, you know I don't want you to do anything that you feel is wrong. Now, maybe you should give this more thought.
Why?
Well, because you're the attorney. You know a lot more about how to handle these things than I do.
You know, Lisa, I don't understand it, but it seems to me you're not as anxious to be free as you were before.
Oh, yes, of course I am. Of course I am.
Okay, so has something changed since you got back from the Willows?
Absolutely not.
You wouldn't be having any doubts about Bennett yourself.
Doubts? Me? Of course not. None whatsoever. In fact, just being with you 10 minutes makes me realize how much more I love Bennett than I ever dreamed I did.
Okay. Well, then I'll just go ahead and with my plans for the quick divorce.
This is Dan McCullough inviting you to join us again Monday for As the World Turns.